The letter lay open on the kitchen counter, its crisp white edge a stark contrast to the smudged reality of her home. Carol, barely 18, traced the lines of the acceptance, a full scholarship to a prestigious university, a testament to years of late-night study and an intellect that blazed. Her father, Joe Danvers Sr., didn't even glance at it. He was stirring his coffee, the clink of the spoon against ceramic, the loudest sound in the strained silence. "It's a waste," he'd said, his voice a low rumble, devoid of the pride other fathers might have shown. "A woman's place isn't in some dusty lecture hall. Your brother needs that money more. He'll use it to build something real." This wasn't just a dismissal. It was a defining moment, one of many that etched itself into Carol Danvers' psyche. Joe Danvers Sr. was a man deeply rooted in tradition, a rigid belief system where men were providers and women were homemakers. His world was neatly compartmentalized, and Carol, with her ambition, her brilliance, and her unwavering will, simply did not fit into his narrow, predetermined slots. The refusal to fund her college education, despite her superior grades and the scholarship offer, was a particularly cruel twist of the knife. Her younger brother, Steve, a well-meaning but academically less distinguished student, received Joe's full financial backing for his own educational pursuits. This wasn't merely about money. It was about worth, about validation. It was her father's way of saying, quite plainly, that her dreams were less valuable, her potential less significant, simply because she was a girl. But Joe's influence extended far beyond financial control. He was an alcoholic, and his struggle with the bottle fueled a constant current of verbal and emotional abuse that cast a long, suffocating shadow over Carol's formative years. Words, sharp and dismissive, were his most potent weapon. "You're too much. You're too loud. You'll never amount to anything important." These phrases weren't just spoken, they were repeated, internalized, becoming a distorted soundtrack to her youth. The unpredictable nature of his temper, the silent judgment in his eyes, created an environment where Carol constantly felt the need to justify her very existence, to prove her worth to a man who seemed determined to deny it. This pervasive disapproval became an unexpected catalyst. Each slight, each belittling remark, rather than crushing her spirit, forged an inner steel. His limitations did not become hers. Instead, they became the boundaries she was determined to smash through. The Air Force for Carol wasn't just a career choice. It was a declaration of independence, a direct challenge to every one of her father's preconceived notions about women and their capabilities. It was a place where merit superseded gender, where strength and skill were measured not by who you were born to be, but by what you could accomplish. Joining the Air Force was, in many ways, her first great act of defiance. It was her way of saying, "You think I can't? Watch me." And she did. She excelled, soaring through the ranks, becoming a test pilot, pushing the boundaries of what was possible, all while carrying the quiet burden of his imagined gaze, the lingering echo of his doubt. Every achievement, every successful mission, every boundary broken, felt like a silent, resounding rebuttal to the man who believed she should stay grounded. The struggle to overcome her father's toxic influence is a fundamental thread woven deeply into Carol Danvers' backstory. It's not just a footnote, it's a foundational trauma that shaped her fierce independence and unyielding determination. This early rejection, this constant battle for validation, fueled a profound need to prove herself, not just to others, but to herself. It instilled in her an almost compulsive drive for excellence, a refusal to be limited by anyone's expectations, particularly those born of prejudice and narrow-mindedness. Even after she gained incredible powers, becoming Captain Mar-Vell, her personal journey remained inextricably linked to this past. Her strength isn't just cosmic, it's an internal fortitude born from enduring years of emotional warfare. Her unwavering sense of justice, her protectiveness of the vulnerable, her refusal to back down in the face of overwhelming odds, these qualities are all echoes of the young girl who refused to be defined by her father's limitations. She learned early on that her greatest battles would sometimes be against the invisible forces of prejudice and the ghosts of her own past. Carol Danvers' story is a powerful testament to the human spirit's ability to transform pain into purpose. Her fight for her own sky, beyond the restrictive gaze of her father, wasn't just about becoming a superhero. It was about becoming truly herself, unbound and unapologetically powerful. She reminds us that even the deepest wounds can become sources of unimaginable strength, driving us to not just survive, but to truly soar. What are your reflections on Carol Danvers' origins? How do you see her deeply personal struggles influencing her cosmic adventures and her enduring heroism? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and let's continue this thoughtful exploration together.